Hey good people, welcome back to Monique's Book List. As you can tell from the title of this video, you know what it's gonna be. If that upsets you, I don't give a fuck. There will be cussing. I will only apologize this time for the amount of cussing I'm going to do. This is my third time filming. The first couple times I've tried to film this, I actually filmed it and was editing it earlier, Brie, and I just felt there was too much anger. I wasn't being able to express myself fully. It kind of got away from me, so I kind of wanted to bring myself back and center myself before I did this video. So I'm just going to get into it. We all know that the algorithm of Booktube is biased. It is biased somewhat because of the audience, and then somewhat because of just the system. It's just biased, just like America. And how does that affect me, and how does that affect you, and all that kind of stuff? So great, simple. We know that there are people who have blown up on YouTube, or Booktube to be specific, and their content is the same as others who have not blown up. I'm not including myself because there's an added layer to the reason why I'm a small booktuber. One, I am a black woman, and two, I am an older person. I understand that. Most people in Booktube or on Booktube World read content that I don't necessarily read all the time. I am also a big romance reader, so I have that too. So I'm not talking about myself in particular. I am talking about black creators in general. I can name off a slew of people who are brilliant creators who don't get the praise and accolades that they deserve, and their content is impeccable, and their content is bountiful, and they're just more interesting than some of the people who are out here like huge numbers. And you can't tell me that is not in part because of the color of their skin. If you believe that it's all hard work and effort that has these people so many people watching them, then you are part of the problem. I'm sorry, you are. And I'm sorry you drank the Kool-Aid of hard work. I love it when people say all you have to do is work hard. My mom worked 3 jobs, went to school, and you can't tell me that woman didn't work hard. And she's still working at 65 years old. So don't give me that bullshit that all you need to do is work hard. Don't give me that line. Hard work does pay off. Pays off in many ways. It pays off in self-accomplishment. It pays off in the legacy you leave to your family members, and sometimes it does pay off financially. But let's not bullshit ourselves. Because I work hard, and I know most of you work hard too, and none of us are millionaires. And I know there's people who work not as hard as us who are millionaires. So don't feed me that line of bullshit. And we know that Booktube has a huge lack of diversity at the top. Not in the middle, not at the bottom, at the top. And when you think of the top tier of Booktubers, you may see 1 or 2 people of color. You may see 1 or 2 that are not white women. Some of them are white men. But let's be 100. If you are a booktuber who has influence, and the only time you talk about diversity is when you want me to believe that you're being diverse, you are part of the problem. If you are a booktuber and you choose not to use your influence to ensure that whenever you're invited to a panel, that there's not people of diversity, and I'm not even talking about just culturally, I mean diversity in its truest form. Like, there shouldn't be 6 of y'all up there who read YA. No, it shouldn't. And there shouldn't be 6 of y'all who have and look the exact same fucking way. I'm sorry. And if you're okay with that, you're part of the problem. And if you look at me and say, why is it my job to make sure there's diversity? Why was it that person who hid the people who hid slaves in their basement on the Underground Railroad? Why was it their job to do that? Because they were fucking humans who understood that slavery was wrong. And you're a fucking human that understands that all readers don't just look like you. They look like you and me and others. And if you can't see that it's just the human thing to do, to make sure that if they have a seat for you, they have a seat for someone who's black. They have a seat for someone who's from the gay community. They have a seat for someone who's from the Asian community. They have a seat for everyone. That's the human thing to do. The selfish thing to do is, well, I deserve this. I deserve not to be treated any kind of way because I'm black. But I'm still treated that way. I've said this countless times in private conversation with other black booktubers. I have never seen people talk about diversity so much and be such fucking bullshitters and liars. You don't really believe in diversity. It makes you feel good to believe you read diversely. You don't. And you're not really. And here's the thing, like Ashley said, just say it. Say I don't really care. Just say I don't really care. Because to me, here's the thing. I've never had a problem with someone who's told me they hated black people. I don't have a fucking problem at all. You don't like me. I don't give a fuck. Just don't try to prevent me or take away my civil rights. You have a right not to like me. And I don't give a fuck. But the people I have a problem with are the people who pretend to be good when they don't have good intentions. I'm sorry, your intentions are not good. If you can go to a panel and not see one person on that panel that doesn't look like you, and you can't say to yourself, this isn't right. I'm sorry. And I know a lot of you will be like, but I worked so hard to get this. Again, don't feed me that line of bullshit about you work hard. You don't think the rest of us work hard? You don't think the rest of us who have children, the rest of us who have jobs, some of us working overtime because of the pandemic, you don't think we work hard? We work hard too. Let me give you an example of somebody who works real fucking hard. Stephanie. Stephanie puts out weekly videos. Weekly videos with wrap-ups. That's her weekly video. Now, she normally has more than one video a week. You know who else works hard? Bree. Bree from Falling for Romance or Bree Hill. Stephanie is from Stephanie Talks or Reads Romance. I always say it wrong, Stephanie. I'm sorry. I love you. Bree from Falling for Romance, aka Bree Hill, is a full-time student, 3 children, produce videos, content for Instagram, and on top of that, constantly elevating other booktubers. Small, big, medium. You know who else works hard? My homie Tara. Works full-time, has a child, puts out, like, I love Tara's videos because I wish I had her, like, when she speaks, it's so powerful. I don't know why I'm about to cry talking about her. her videos are well done. She works hard. She works hard. You know who else works hard? Introverted Dandelion. She's an educator. She has a whole series on middle grade books. Works hard. She's an educator. Has a child. Educator. So before you talk to me, I'm sorry. Ashley from Bookish Ram. She has a child. Just finished grad school. Black librarian. Works hard on her videos. So don't feed me that bullshit about you work hard. We all work hard, darling. We all do. So don't give me that bullshit. The novel lush works hard. Full-time job. Produces great content. Some of my favorite content. I love it when she be cussing people out. Works hard. Some of my favorite Instagrammers, bookgrammers, most of them have families, educators. They work hard. But why does your face pop up and theirs don't? Ask yourself that question and be honest with yourself. And then you will recognize that not only do you have influence, you have privilege. Use your privilege and your influence for good and not just for yourself. Another thing I want to address is people will say, well, I watch these people, and I'm only doing this voice because this is how I think young people talk, not just young white people. I got nieces that talk like this too. Well, I watch stuff that I can relate to. So that's why I watch those booktubers. You mean to tell me that you can't watch a video from Comfy Cozy Up because the books she reads are predominantly about African Americans and the African American experience, but you can't relate to the human you can't relate to the human experience in her books that she reads on her channel, but you can relate to books about fairies. You can relate to books about werewolves and vampires. You can relate to books about about a child who has to fight basically Hitler at a magical school, but you can't relate to the books that Comfy Cozy reads because they're about the black experience. Come on now, you're part of the problem. You don't want to read. You don't want to relate to her. It makes you comfortable to relate to those books. Don't give me this bullshit about you can't relate. Now, if you said you can't relate because the content is about, no, fuck that. If you can't relate to the human experience because it's about brown people, you are part of the fucking problem. So, for all of you motherfuckers who talk about diversity non-fucking stop, are your channels diverse that you watch? Are the people that you big up diverse? Now, here's the thing. I'm about to mention someone that I think on every aisle, a lot of people have problems with this person. But I will fucking rock with this person because when shit hit the fan last time about diversity, this person said, I can only speak about it as an Asian American. Here are some people who have better experiences because they actually are black, and their voices should be heard over mine. And that's Read with Cindy. I know some of y'all got problems with her. Those aren't my problems. Again, this person openly admits that she has privilege. In some of her recent videos, she knows she has privilege. Knows she has privilege, recognizes it, and does her best to use it for good. So, if you can't see that nobody's standing anymore for your bullshit of Why should I? Why is it my job? Why I just, you part of the problem, my friend. And you're being called to the carpet. And if you don't want to use your channel to make a political statement, then why the fuck am I watching you? Because what statements are you making? What statements are you making? Because as much as we want to pretend life ain't fucking happening right now with the fucking coronavirus and police brutality, it is. And if you can't stand up and say that shit is wrong, you are part of the problem. And if you don't want to rock with me after this video, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't do this just for you. And listen, even if you don't unfollow me, some of y'all getting unfollowed. Because I'm only rocking with people who truly rock with me. And when I say me, I mean people that look like me. People who are talking about issues like me. People who are out here saying shit ain't right like me. So if you ain't speaking up, there's a strong possibility we ain't rocking no more. I'm sorry. We none of us have the luxury of saying that's not my problem. None of us. And I mean that shit from the bottom of my heart. So don't miss me with that shit. Like I said last time in my last video, miss me with that shit. If you truly believe that you should not use your influence and your privilege to ensure that BookTube is truly diverse, you are the problem. Whew, that's heavy as shit. It felt good though to get that off my heart. Yeah. So till next time, I will do my best in my next video to be happier. The messed up thing is I had so many videos I recorded and planned to release in the next couple of weeks. And I don't think I'm going to release any videos really soon after this, because I think I need to see the lay of the land and make some decisions about who I'm rocking with and who I ain't rocking with no more.